Okay, so hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss on a theme, which is the theme is human rights. So the title is the banning of smoking in eateries is violating the right of people to smoke. The ban can be seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom. So we are going to discuss on our point of view. So, but before that, can we introduce ourselves first? Okay, my name is Aiman, and you can call me Aiman.
My name is Emmanuel.
My name is Noramina, can call me Mila.
My name is Karunda Salma, you can call me Karunda.
My name is Hisham.
My name is Saiful, can call me Saiful.
Okay, so about the banning, so anyone have any point of view about the banning?
Okay, maybe I start my point first. To me, I agree with the statement that smoking ban is somehow against the human right of the smokers, because I'm not smokers, but to me, smokers also have their right to smoke anywhere they want. People might against it, but like there's some place that people are okay with the smokers. Like before this, my friend will usually hang out at the restaurant for smoking shisha. It's like some exclusive trip for their day, so they can rest. It's like they will spend more time together as a friend. Rather than if you ban the smoking, they will lose attraction to come to the eateries. Like they no point to eat outside. They want to go outside just to hang out with friends, not to eat. So if you ban the smoking, less people will come to the stall and they might affect their business. So I think that it's against the smokers' right. They also have right to smoke at the restaurant.
I actually do not agree with your point, because the fact that we're using the argument of right of smokers shows that we're felt at denormalizing smoking against among Malaysians, because smoking ban at eateries doesn't mean that we're depriving their right to smoke. It's just that they are being regulated whether they can or cannot smoke. So like we should consider the rights of non-smokers too, because 80% of Malaysians are non-smokers. So doesn't mean that we want some people do not want to be exposed to tobacco and stuff like that. So their rights to be to breathe the fresh air is being mistreated. So
I agree with Emmanuel, and sorry Hisham, I strongly disagree with you, because for the smokers, restaurant is not a place for smoke, because restaurant a place to eat. So if you want to smoke, I agree with the new rules in Malaysia about the banning of smoking in restaurant place. It must be 3 meters, right?
yeah.
So this is very good rule, because it will give a freshness air to the non-smoker. And other than that, we all know that smoking is very dangerous. We are teach from primary school about the dangers of the smoking. So this is my point.
So I think in my opinion, and especially in my point of view, I do disagree with Emmanuel and Hisham, Saiful, Saiful, and I have to disagree with Hisham, because for me, I think we do have disagreement and agreements in the point of view that is given. But in my own point of view, according to me, and according to Emmanuel's data, 80% of the Malaysian are non-smokers. So I think the smokers need to appreciate and respect the non-smokers who eats in the eatery itself. Other than that, I think that if someone is smoking and there's someone who's eating, I think that it could be shows like a discomfort from the non-smokers while they're eating. I mean, like we want to eat like with joyfulness and like the enjoyment and talking with our friends as well without anything disturbing from the air like smoking. So I think that's my point of view, and that's why I disagree with Hisham. Sorry, Hisham.
So actually, I see your point of view. But for me, if you're going to banning the smokers from smoking at eateries, you should give us time. Oh no, I mean not us. I'm not smokers, but they give the time, because actually the smokers having their habits after eating they want to smoke. So for me, if you are going to ban, giving time for example, there's if mama, right, mostly people will smoking at mama. So if you're going to banning, please just banning first for the places with the roof first, and there's outside place at mamas. So just give the smokers to smoke there first, and then after maybe a year, then they will reduce the smoking percent. So after that, go for the 3 meters for as government said. So I think it's quite taking their human rights. But for me, just give their time to change. Okay.
So you said that we should give them time for about 1 year. So do you think that giving them 1 hour and 1 year is successful enough to ban? Sorry, yeah.
I don't think so, but just give a style. So
Like, you can enforce the law to total ban the smoking at the eateries, but just give time. Like you just announced it last month, then you want to do it this month. You like so sudden. But if you give them time like one year, it like they can slowly, not totally but slowly stop smoking at the eateries, and when the ban is start, they can accept it well. For example, like now, there is sudden ban about the smoking at the eateries. Then smokers must smoke 3 meters from the restaurant. So there's a lot of voice that people kind of they just voice because they scared to get sued by the government. But there are a lot of voice that say that they kind of mad about the ban because like Saiful said, people don't come to restaurant to smoke but to eat, right? Say like that. Then can you explain about people that come to eateries to watch football, but they don't eat? They just order like water.
No ice.
they just order something simple, but they want to watch football.
Hisham.
There's no. Yes.
So,
Yes.
it's quite funny because in the restaurant they have a TV, right?
Yeah.
What function of TV if you do not watch?
There's it's like same like smoke. If you have
Restaurant not
Like
you have a cigarette in your hand, why don't you just smoke there? It's like I must say, we can have some like indoor play that smokers can smoke that non-smokers cannot join.
yeah,
Like in the glass.
that's what I mean.
PKS.
The PKS, the one stand they use there right now, they don't
Okay.
have. Okay, but how about you, Mila? What your opinion on this discussion?
This issue.
Yes.
For me, actually it's great because if we think about that, many parents they don't bring along their children go to mama when at night because they think the smoke for the cigarette is not good for their children health because if read a lot in internet or everywhere, the smoke can cause them the cancer or anything else disease. Then after the new after government new rules, no smoking in any restaurant or open place for the smoker, because I think it's a good opportunity to them. Then we can take as to decrease the smokers in the Malaysia, because I think every day we have a new smoker. Even in high school, the boys start smoker. So that's why I think it's good opportunity if we ban the smoking in open place.
Actually, I have another point of view. So, actually, if you're going to ban, can you for smokers, maybe they are agree with it, but can the restaurant provide a place for them to smoke, that rather than make them smoking 3 meters from their restaurant? Because actually, as I remember, at Japan or Korea, something like that, they provide the places for the smokers, the special place, so the non-smokers will not disturb with the smokers. So maybe that can be
considered.
Issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
True.
English.
Because I think that the enforcement of the law is good, but the execution is quite poor, because
I think we're not supposed to totally ban the smokers from smoking in the restaurant. Like, we can choose some restaurant that can let the smokers smoke, and some restaurant that didn't let them. Like we know if the restaurant is focusing on adult, like 20 and above, so they can allow the smokers to smoke there, because
Shisha.
that is the smokers' right to choose their way of life. Like, if they want to seek, they can seek themselves. Like, they will smoke among the smokers. And if people who don't smoke want to enter that place, like, it's their own decision. We didn't force the people who don't smoke to enter the place. So it's like, why must smokers tolerate with people who don't smoke from entering their place? Like, this house is a smoker's house, and then someone outside the house who is not smokers come to the house and be mad. Why you smoke here? It's like that.
I think why can we change to, I think it's new for you guys, no stick, even vape. I think it's more friendly, but it's still not good for your health because it's from the electronic.
Well, I think in addition hearing all of you guys' opinions and point of view and thoughts, well, I do agree with you right now, Hisham. Like, I can really relate his idea about it. I mean, like, we cannot always count on the governments, even though they already make laws, but they're not really applying it in real lives. I mean, like, they're not really quite 100% responsible for their law. Like, for example, they're making this law for banning smoking, but they're not applying it in every single area. And like, for example, every mama cannot. I mean, like, the laws are not going to check the mama like every single restaurant, right? That's why, like, I think in here, like, related with the human rights, I think it is with our human consciousness that we need to respect each other than with the non-smoker or smokers. I think that is why I agree with his idea. I mean, like, right now, maybe in my point of view, like, we just need to like respect each other's. I mean, like, we need to see the situations, like if there are any smokers or not. In that way, we can like balance the human rights between the law.
But what about the right to a healthy workplace? Because it is a responsibility for the employer to provide a safe and healthy environment for their employee. What if their employees are non-smokers. So they have to agree. I mean, they have to just
Sorry, but I think that you kind of missed from our discussion. We discussed at eateries, right?
Yes.
yeah,
So
What
what
if-
workplace?
workplace, as in the eateries. Like, do people not work there?
Or because like I said before, it's their choice to work there.
But then
People
they have to
have this
comply
choice.
with them, just because the customers want to smoke, and then they have to just breathe the
Yeah, I got it.
unhealthy air.
That's why I think human
So-
rights and human knowledge about respecting each other is highlighted at this
Mm.
point, because without even the human respect each other, it will be like a total doom for the humans. That's why respect is really much needs. But I don't know, what's your guys' point of view then?
Okay, so I think we can conclude this discussion. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we must focus on the question. Does the smoking ban what against the human right of the smokers?
Yes.
It's like we only focus on the smokers, not the people around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
For this one. So for me, I think that it against their right to smoke because of our discussion before. So how about you guys? Do you think that it's smoking or?
Well, I think in my point of view, and I'm very sure that each of us has a different opinions and point of view, but according to the data that Emmanuel has spoke to us, like he told us that 80% are non-smokers. So I'm just related with the data because it is a real proof that we are going to apply in this country. So I think it is not against the smokers because there are a lot of more non-smokers than the smokers. So 80% against 20%. So I guess I'm not against that one.
So
So maybe we conclude. I think that is the conclusion.
yeah, we should respect each other.
Yeah, we
So
respect.
that's
So that is the conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will end our discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Tujuh